describing Deontay Wilder today. He can make mistakes through a 10-round, 12-round fight, but he can knock you out in the 10th or the 12th. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of describing some of the heavyweights today. How would you feel you would do in today's youthful heavyweight division? Would it be an 8th title in there?
They're not skillful enough. They need more skill, baby. They lack. Only one got skill, and he misses the power, and that's how Tyson Fury. Now he got more skill than the rest of them got, but he lacks power, and he's 6'9" with not that much power. You can't keep it off of him. You know what I mean? So it's tough, and he's smart. You know, he's a very smart guy, but at 6'9", you had to be a power puncher to survive because you're a big target, and you can't keep him out with that big target. So it's a problem. The rest of them wild, he's got to get by his right hand. Everybody knows that. He'll be the one that, you know, he's that guy just like Mike Tyson. You don't watch you, let hit you with that right hand, you're going to have a problem. Other than that, though, you can deal with him too.
Those are the words of Roy Jones Jr. as he explains how he would deal with Joshua, well, really Fury and Wilder. He mentioned Joshua, but it's on further on this video. I've already done a video about that, so I don't think it's necessary to mention Joshua. But he did break it down with Wilder that if he was fighting these fighters today, you know, he critiques both guys. Fury, he needs power. That's the only thing he lacks, right? The other two, Wilder and Joshua, he says they lack skill. Okay, they're not skillful enough. Let's say that. Okay, and Fury needs power. He has the skill, but he needs power, and he's a big target. So he needs power to keep someone like Roy Jones Jr. off of him if he was going to, you know, fight someone like Fury, because Roy would be able to hit him because he's a bigger target. Now, as far as Wilder goes, he said you have to watch out for the big right hand, because he can catch you. He's similar to Mike Tyson. He can catch you with one shot and hurt you, knock you out. Excuse me. And what he did was, he was just saying like, hey, you can deal with Wilder too, you know. And I think, again, people, seeing is believing with people, because like Deontay Wilder was convincing people that you can hurt him, you could even drop him, you can frustrate him, you can swell him up, but you couldn't defeat him. You couldn't defeat him. Because once he hits you with that power, you're done. Party's over, lights out, good night, right? Well, with Jones says, hey, you can deal with him too, because if you take away the right hand, you pretty much got him. You know, he's pretty square on. You know, he's saying he criticized these guys like, look, you know, these guys don't know how to set things, don't know how to set up, don't know how to do the things that he knows how to do. They haven't been learning or whatever. Now, as far as Tyson Fury, he has the skill, so he's learned. Deontay Wilder started late, and this is me counterpunching Roy Jones. Tyson Fury has a skill. He lacks the power, but he was able to defeat Deontay Wilder, now wouldn't he? Now, a lot of people have their own opinions about that. This is not what this video is about. The point is, Wilder had everyone thinking, and he was starting to make a believer out of me, like, dude, do you really need skill if you got power? I hated Wilder for saying what he said, because he said that about 3-4 years ago. But he was proving everybody wrong. Like, hey, you don't need all that. I skip shit in training because I don't need that. I do what I feel is necessary to get the job done. I have the right hand. The right hand is good enough for me. And I show everybody what I'm going to do. I'm going to knock you out, and I'm going to show you. That worked up to February 22nd. Okay? And he was getting infamous or famous, however you want to look at that, for being that guy that you could do whatever, but he ends up beating you by knockout at the end of the day. Tyson Fury was almost one of those guys. And since the rematch that had happened, and I think Roy is now saying, hey, you can deal with that too. You can deal with the right hand. He is very dangerous simply because he doesn't have anything else but the right hand. And I think Roy is saying that based on what we've already seen, because seeing is believing. When you see something, you believe it, and it's like, okay, nice, that's cool and all, but we've already seen you get beat, and we've seen what you can do after the fact. The right hand wasn't successful like you thought it could be. So I think that's what Roy Jones is getting at, because again, seeing is believing. Speak it, believe it, receive it. But if you see it, you're going to believe it. But anyway, that's my take on Roy Jones Jr. and his take on the current heavyweight division. Tell me what you think about his comments. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.
Peace.
Peace.